combined MD-PhD degree program usually lasts 7 to 9 years. The first 2 years are spent completing the first 2 years of the medical school curriculum, after which students enter the graduate school years where they will complete their PhD by working on a thesis and defending that thesis in front of a committee. After they've completed their PhD, students re-enter the medical school to complete the final 2 years of the curriculum, where they will spend most of their time in the wards doing clinical rotations. Now that sounds like a lot of years in school, but still, I want to become an MD-PhD, and I am currently an MD-PhD student. Again, this is Jeff from JNR Med, and today, let's talk about the reasons why you should pursue an MD-PhD. If you want to be a physician and also see yourself doing research in the basic sciences, clinical, or even social sciences, getting an MD-PhD may help streamline your training as a physician scientist. You can definitely still get that training outside of an MD-PhD program by doing it as an extracurricular in medical school, or even pursuing residency programs that are research-based and have a research component. But as a medical student and or resident, it might be a little bit harder to squeeze in research hours into that busy curriculum. Yeah, you get to spend 3 to 5 extra years on top of your MD degree, but you get to also focus on research responsibilities for those 3 to 5 years, which may be helpful down the line. You get to work on a thesis project, carry it to completion, and as you spend those years in the laboratory environment, you get to encounter the long-term trials and tribulations that come with research. And overcoming those and actually learning the skills to even avoid or prevent those trials is a huge component of the MD-PhD pathway. And that's something that you can definitely learn from your research mentors or even your MD-PhD program mentors. That leads us to number 2. In this path, you will gain a unique set of mentors that will help you navigate administrative, research, and clinical responsibilities that come with becoming a physician scientist. These mentors might be the mentors in your MD-PhD program or even your very own research mentor in the lab. Those extra 3 to 4 years will help you soak up all of that expertise that have been built by those mentors during a time when you're focused growing as a scientist in a relatively lower state of stress than when you have to actually juggle clinical, academic, and research responsibilities at the same time. Number 3, as a scientist, you gain an important clinical perspective for your research, and vice versa. As a clinician, you will gain a unique perspective of your clinical expertise. It gives you first-hand experience on the adversities that patients might face in the clinic and outside of it. With the research background, there is definitely some actions that you can take, whether that be by investigating potential alternatives to treatment regimen, or even implementation or the implementation of healthcare practices to improve health outcomes. Number 4, it's free. But this one is more of a reason not to be discouraged by the 7 to 9 years in school. I don't think that this should be a reason why you should pursue an MD-PhD. I think that the stipend, which actually pays for my rent, for my car, for my health insurance, is definitely helpful. Besides that, I don't have to pay tuition. It's all paid for. It definitely makes it a lot easier to be a medical student and focus only on my studies as opposed to having to worry about financially. How am I gonna get food for this month? How am I gonna pay for my rent? And how am I gonna pay for those loans that I might have to take if I wasn't getting the support that I was getting from my program? But again, it's 7 to 9 years, and if this is not your cup of tea, research and or medicine, that's probably not a good idea. And lastly, you will fill a special role in the future of medicine. Our technology is rapidly advancing in an enormous phase, whether that be in the sciences or in the clinic. This has led to specialization in both areas. But as we've become more and more specialized, it's definitely become more difficult to know everything that is to learn about your specialty. And that's where the physician scientist can really step up. As a physician scientist, you get to experience both the research side and the clinical side. You are supposed to be a bridge that can provide or even utilize the perspective of both spheres, and I think that's really cool. Well, that's my list of 5 reasons why you should get an MD-PhD. This is a subjective list. It's definitely not gonna apply to everyone, and I might have missed some good reasons why you should get an MD-PhD. And if so, make sure you drop those in the comments, and also let us know what kind of content you would like to see from us in the future. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.